I, Sundance, clearly have nothing better to do. Wait, that's not the right one. I, Sundance, am over. I, Sundance, am over 18 years of age, of sound mind, and have read and understood the hot sauce product disclaimer on the League of Fire website. In summary, I accept that the League of Fire, their suppliers, and manufacturers will, under no circumstances, be responsible for or liable for any claims of injury or damage arising from me consuming this product or multiples thereof. I acknowledge and agree to this without question. What are we doing today? Well, revisiting an old favorite and a new I don't like this challenge. The old favorite, Tube of Terror 2.0. The I don't like this challenge, Killer Queen 2. I'm going to save her for last. I'm going to try to get through this tube. For the Queen, I'm going to be doing it through a straw, most likely, but I will not be doing the guillotine, whichever it is. I will not be doing the guillotine. I will be doing the regular old 410 points, suffer 4 minutes. The guillotine is where you drink as many as you can in a minute through a straw, no afterburn. That sounds horrible. I don't want to do that, but I'm going to try to do that one because I have them, and I don't want to foist them on some unsuspecting individual, or even, I wouldn't want anybody who would want to do that. Let's get to the challenge. Sealed. You guys should know the rules for this one. 7 points, 10 minutes to eat, 5 after burn, so a 15-minute nightmare. And these bad boys were horrendously coated. Whatever they're doing at Blazing Foods, they've overdone it since the last ones, because these suckers are coated. The last one I did, by the time you watch this tonight, horrendous. Well, the video's uploading tonight. I don't know when you watch this, but here we go. Like, I want to show you, like, all the excess powder that's just in here that's usually never there. Like, I don't know. Just never mind. There's a lot. I'll show you at the end. It's a monster. Alright, so I'm going to set this bad boy for 15 minutes. Not looking forward to this because the last one I did trashed me. I didn't even want it. I had a plan to, whatever. Giddy up. I may just, who knows. Just push through it. Don't be a sissy. Are you a sissy? Late Terry Funk. I see a sissy. Here we go. There was a ball of powder on that one. It wasn't even a nug. That's how much they super coated these. Ah. Look at all that powder, man. That's what they left me with. I'm just gonna have to sit with these. That's how much. Now this part sucks. Wait. All right. Yeah. I don't know. I'm sitting at like a 8. I don't know if I'll do that, Killer Queen. I should. What you're seeing right now, the usual kind of way this works out. Roughly 5 minutes to get a tube down. 5 minutes after are the worst. And the 5 minutes after that is just coasting downhill. So I'm sitting at a heat right now of where that Killer Queen 2 was the first time I tried it. That's how coated they were. I keep saying that, I'm telling you. And this actually makes me wonder. Phil's on Fire, he recently did the 2.0, and I wonder if he got one of the new batch, because that would explain why he got pretty lit up. I know he's just getting started, but he can handle some heat. And I know he was lit off that one, so. Most recent expiration date on that. If it's for 2024, you're sitting on some burners. So, double kudos to Phil, if that's what he did. Subscribe to his channel, by the way. Phil's on Fire is awesome. If he got through one of those, and fair enough if not, these things are still hot. But like I said, I'm sitting in an 8. Throat hates me. Mouth is torched. I have zero intention of keeping any of this down. It's a work night. And Hoods from Sacramento is in town. A hardcore band. I'm going to try to go to a show tonight. I got into hardcore 20 years ago. This coming November. I was a metal kid. And didn't know anything about hardcore. and got invited to. Some friends told me that bands played down at the college campus for free at this thing called night class. I played like heavy music and stuff too. And I'm like, oh, cool. So November 15th, 2003, I rode in the trunk of my friend's car because it was funny to me. I think. I'm pretty sure it was that one. If not, it was another one. Rode to the local college campus at the basement floor of a large building called Duck. And it was half a Subway restaurant for the students in this big open area. Half the Subway with all the seats and whatever. And the other half of this room was a big dance floor with mirrors on the back corner wall. Just tall, floor to ceiling mirrors. DJ booth in the back corner. And this little kind of leveled up partition. I may stick a photo of it. The only time I was able to play there. We played there a couple times in my metal band later. Abandon the Lost. I'll probably put a photo up of like right here. You'll see what I mean. Gotta love night class. Well, anyways, floor to ceiling mirrors. And the first guy doing it was a dude named Sean when I got in. So the first show that I saw was Love is Red, Cash from Eden, Reaction, and Another Way. Just a whole slew of hardcore bands. I'll probably put the flyer up there. I used to hang up at the DJ booth on the back glass, and just forever. And then, unfortunately, later on, night class had to be shut down for stupid reasons. And kind of like one of the last shows, I asked the guy who was running the night class later, "Hey, can I have that flyer?" Because that was my first show. He's like, "Oh yeah, yeah." So he gave it to me, and that's like one of my prized possessions, my first hardcore show flyer. Anyways, that's where I discovered hardcore. I was baggy Jinkos, less than 5 minutes to go. Baggy Jinkos, white zombie t-shirt, hair kind of long, and I used to wear the top knot with the underside shaved. Just a mall goth if there ever was one. And here's this hardcore stuff. All I knew was headbanging and, mosh pitting like traditional shove style. Knew nothing of hardcore dancing. Knew nothing of hardcore. And got a lesson that night in what it was. And I thought the dancing was stupid at first, but it kind of grew on me later because whatever this was, this crazy energy, like nobody was dressed up looking cool like I thought I was. Everybody was just wearing shirts and shorts. And they're doing all these crazy hardcore dance moves and stuff. I actually got kicked in the head, but I was lucky because he didn't kick me, like his shoe grazed my head. Because if you've ever seen hardcore dancers, they kick really high. This is before skinny jeans cramped everybody's legs down. People used to be able to kick high. So this kid nearly just... There was this like rubber burned scuff on my head where he nearly took me out. Pretty sure it was that one. It was a different one, but it happened. But I fell in love with it. I'm like, oh cool, I want to keep coming to this. And eventually just fell in love with hardcore. And it's been a huge influence and a shape on my life. And that was 20 years ago. And, Hoods, I remember like when our scene started getting going and everything, kind of like it was almost like a passing of the torch. From my understanding, there used to be kind of a scene before I got there with a venue like called Digglers and everything like that, and night class. And then kind of like this new era of kids birthed from this legendary Love is Red show. Where just everybody, like, for some reason, everybody was there. And that's where kind of like there was this, not a new birth or a resurgence, but kind of like this birth of what I knew in my generation from hardcore as it was transitioning. Taking on a lot of more metal style elements, metalcore kind of like got big around that time too. So hardcore just really like something I fell in love with. And so Hoods was a band. They've been around, I think, like since like 94, some 96. I'd almost have to check. Don't quote me. You almost could. In fact, let me see if I can do that. Um, let's see here. Excuse me. Uh, Formed in '94. So right, so this band's been around forever. Well, in those early 2000s, our kids, all like the people, because like when I discovered, I'm like, me and my friends, we're telling everybody about hardcore, and all the kids started getting involved in hardcore, and so Hoods was a band that got a lot of love from my friends and stuff like that way back then. And like I said, formed in '94, so 10 years later, kids are becoming their fans. Here it is, 20 years later, from that, and Hoods is finally playing in my local town, and a lot of these bands, 1 minute to go, like some of the bands that are on the bill, the locals and everything, they're young. They're like maybe early 20s, and I'm like, wow, they're like the next generation, because my generation came and went. Like I'm 37. My time is kind of come and gone. I'm a senior citizen in hardcore, you know. But so with all these kids, they're taking that torch, but they're also like they're opening for bands that literally probably older, have been around since before they were born. You know, if Hoods is almost 30 years old, their kids who probably weren't even born when Hoods started. From Sacramento, Hoods, Sacramento, if you felt like Googling. So, this is not a multiples, so I can take a minute to get this started while I quit rambling. I'm not looking forward to this. But, so Hoods is playing tonight, and it's cool. I'm gonna watch, because our scene died out, over time. So there's like this lull period where nothing's happening much. And so it's going to be a 4-minute afterburn on this. So it's going to be kind of cool because I looked into the venue and I'm like, oh, wow, they've just recently started doing shows and these bands are kind of new. And like, I'm seeing these young kids and it's like, they're the next generation. And I get to see them take what we had here in my city for a good little while. We had a thriving scene. And they're kind of like the next generation to like have a scene in my city again, so I'm not passing the torch by any means, but I'm going to watch this new generation. And I'm looking forward to it. So Seal on this Killer Queen too. Not looking forward to this. I may puke on this one. I'm almost certain I will. I hate this challenge. So if I spew, oh, sweet cheese, Louise, chicken and cheese. So thick. If I spew, I should probably leave the sound on, but we'll see. So I'm gonna get ready if I have to bail. Not looking forward to this. All right, we're at 4 minutes. Ready. Yeah, it's kind of a little bit more empty. All right, 4 minutes. So I'm watching this new generation. So doing that was a lot easier than how I did it before. I just did it with a glass, and I was wrecked. This one, coming off the Tributary 2.0, maybe it helped a bit. I don't have the mouth burn. I don't know why. My throat isn't scorched like it was the first time I tried it. I'm warm. If you're gonna ask me, how are the cramps? I don't know. I'm puking after this. Because there's all kinds of peppers in there, and there's extract in here as well. And there's a reason it's 10 points. But I'm pretty lit. I'm snot, eyes watery. Feel gut bomb and chest. My mouth is kind of fine right now. I don't know, something about doing it that way helped. So if I make it through this 4 minutes, I think I'll be all right. Throat's starting to catch a little bit. But yeah, hardcore has been a beautiful thing to me. And I know, like, I don't even get into it because, like, I know there's kind of like the old thing about fighting invincible ninjas and all this karate in the pit versus real mosh pits and this, that, and the other. It's like, I'm too old to care. I fell in love with the dancing because when I discovered, one, it's fun, but two, it gave me, like, when you're a small guy like I am, I'm 5'7" on a good day, and I was 135 pounds, 145 pounds at most, soaking wet back then. It doesn't matter when you're on the floor and you're dancing. You're equal with the dude who's like 6'2", 250, and he's busting out spin kicks. You're both equally dangerous. When you're a guy like me, you're just getting shoved around. And you're not getting any kind of anything out of it. You're just at the mercy of everyone else. And there was a lot more energetic self-expression to the hardcore dancing, which I discovered why I loved it. So even when it's done poorly, if you're out there having fun and there's questions about whether or not how you think you should respect people, hardcore I come from, people get roughed up. But it's just all about fun and self-expression. That's why I feel in love with it. And at my age, I don't dance anymore. It takes like 2 weeks to recuperate. And, it's not like I stretch every day and all that. So if I get out there and on the floor, I'm feeling it for the next week and a half versus it used to be I could recover in a couple days. How do you all have listened to me babble on about being a hardcore kid? I don't know. I'm a hardcore man. I'm old core. Coming in the last 20 minutes. I'm going to go right after this. Thank you guys for sticking with me. Hope you enjoy the channel and more to come. And, yeah. This one burns a lot. I feel it in my stomach. I'm not happy. But, hey. Another one bites the dust. Cool. Love you guys.